very good day to you people. My name is Mohit and today I'll teach you in Adobe Dreamweaver CS5 how to make a horizontal spry menu bar. Let's start. Let's click on create new HTML. Guys, I'm presented with a stage, or rather a blank document which has rulers. In case you don't have the rulers turned on, what you need to do is you need to go and click on view, go down to rulers and make sure that the show rulers is checked on. Right. Next what I'll do is I will say insert layer objects, spry menu bar, or else I'll say insert spry menu bar, or else what I can do is I can be in the classic view and say right from the top spry menu bar. Dreamweaver prompts me to save this document before it can actually insert the widget. I'll say OK, and I'll save it under the same name, spry, which is menu bar horizontal, which already exists. While I was testing for this tutorial, I had made that file, and it says, would you like to override this file? I'll say okay, yes, and then Dreamweaver wishes to know if I would like to make a horizontal one or a vertical one. I'll go with the horizontal one and I'll say okay. Next, Dreamweaver actually inserts a very basic, plain, simple, vanilla kind of a menu bar, a dual colored menu bar. Let me just go inside the live view and show you what it has. It's a dual colored, a gray and a blue colored, blue on hover, otherwise gray colored. Very simple, boring kind of a menu bar. I need to tweak it. I need to make it look much more beautiful. Next what I'll do is I will and give it a title. I'll call it menu bar. It's always a good idea, guys, to save the file first, give it a title, and then actually set to do your work. Okay. And what I need to do next is I want to create a menu bar which is exactly 400 pixels in width. So how do I do that? First things first, I'll align the 0, 0 of the ruler to the top left corner of the menu bar. Okay. So kind of there. Okay, roughly placed it there. I may not be 100% accurate, but that's okay. I just want you to understand the concept. Next what I'll do is, since the origin of the rulers, the 0, 0 of the rulers have been set according to the top left of the menu bar, I'm going to pull up a guide and drag it to 400. Okay, roughly there. Okay, guys, I'm not 100% accurate, but I know it's roughly around 400. That's the way you do it. I'm okay if I'm a little bit here and there. I just want you to understand the concept. Next, since I already have the ruler sitting at 400, I would want you to adjust the size of the menu bar so that it only occupies 400 pixels in width. And how do I achieve that? Guys, sitting on the right hand side panel here under the CSS styles, all rules, we have 18 rules which control one single horizontal spry menu bar. 18 rules for, you see, one single spry menu bar. So it's a lot confusing, but guys, I'm here to make life very simple for you, and I have done it several times. Once you get into the routine of doing it again and again, you wouldn't find it so difficult. Probably it's the first time you're doing it, that's why you're probably watching this tutorial, but it's not so difficult at all once you know it, and once you actually do it, let's say half a dozen times, it becomes pretty easy. So what I need to do is, first I'll crunch the menu bar in such a manner that it actually occupies only 400 pixels. And how do I do that? It's very, very simple. I'm going to click on these rules, and down below in the properties panel, we will be seeing the properties for these different rules. But initially, the panels weren't looking like this. They actually looked something like this. One sec, I'll just show you. I'll set reset classic, and you know, the the files panel was here, the assets panel was here, the snippets panel was here, and the rules were here. So my panels weren't looking like this. So what I did was I actually grabbed hold, you know, I just took this window out here, and I crunched it, I compressed it, and I dragged it out here like this. So then I could see the CSS styles, all the 18 CSS styles of the rules, and I could see their properties here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this window right here so I can see them much clearly. Okay, I made my code area very small. Let me just drag it a little further. No, that's too much. Let me just take this a little bit back, drag it here towards the right. That's fine. Okay, all right, guys, I need to alter the size to make it 400 pixels in width. So what I'm going to do is the third rule from the top, which is ul menubar li, has a width of 8 EMs. Now guys, whenever the values are in EMs, they are scalable. That's one thing you need to know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 8 EM to 6.25 EM. I've already done my calculation earlier that if I change the 8 EM to 6.25 EMs, the size that I get for the 4 buttons, item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4, actually equals exactly 400 pixels. Okay guys, let me be sure, just give me a sec. Okay guys, I had to pause the video and make sure that the menu bar was exactly 400 pixels in width. What happened here was the origin, the 0, 0 was not properly aligned to the top left corner, which I have actually done now. I dragged the 0, 0 out like this, the origin out, and aligned it perfectly with the top left corner. And once I did that, then I could actually see that once I have the width of the menu bar set at 6.25 EMs, it exactly equals 400 pixels in width. So also guys, I have also checked that the height of the menu bar is 35 pixels. I've just drawn a guideline from the top, okay, to the bottom of the menu bar, and it says that the height of the menu bar is 35 pixels and the width, notice guys, here is 400 pixels. What happens here is this small distance is 10 pixels. Okay, that was the reason I had to drag the origin of the 0, 0 of the X and the Y axis, aligned it to the top left corner of the menu bar. Okay, so I'm absolutely sure that the width now is 400 pixels, the height of the menu bar is 35 pixels. Now I can actually get rid of all the guides and the rulers. I'm going to drop them back onto the rulers. Okay, let me drag and drop it back. Also now I can actually get rid of the rulers themselves. So guys, this Spry menu bar horizontal is 400 pixels in width and 35 pixels in height. Next, what I need to do is I need to check other rules for the width, and wherever I see 8 or 8.2 EMs, I need to reset it back to 6.25. What's the reason for that? Let me show you. Let me go to the live view and show you. Guys, although the main menu bar on the top has been reset to 6.25, these sub menus are still wider, so I need to reset these values too. So the rule just below the UL menu bar horizontal LI is UL menubar horizontal UL. The fourth rule from the top says the width is 6.25. I need to reset it to 6.25 as well, which I've done now. Let me take a live view. Good. What's happened here is the border, you see this, the border kind of has aligned itself to 6.25, but the width is still 8.2 EM, so I need to change the width from some other CSS rule as well. Okay, now notice UL menubar horizontal UL li also says that the width is 8.2. I'll reset it to, or change it to 6.25, and now everything should be fine. So what I've done is, guys, I've changed the width through 3 different CSS rules. The first rule said the width was 8. The second and the third rule said it was 8.2. I've changed all of them to 6.25, and now I can take a live view and I'll show you that it's in perfect order now, in good health. All's good, everything's fine now. Very, very good. So what I've done so far is, using the rulers and the guides, I've actually made sure that the width of the menu bar is 400 pixels. That is item 1, item 2, item 3 and item 4 combined. So also I've ensured the drop down menus and each and every button or the anchor tags on the top are not more than 6.25 EMs or 100 pixels each. Very, very good. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. And guys, the key rule when it comes to changing the color is the 10th rule from the top, which is UL menu bar horizontal A for anchor tag. This is the 10th rule from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, sure. This is the 10th rule from the top that is responsible for changing the colors of the menu bar. Now, in the properties for UL menu bar horizontal A, it says the background color is set to a hash triple E, which is a very plain, simple, vanilla kind of a color. I'm going to change it to, let's say, a hash 060. Okay, notice the change here, guys. Okay, then since it's a very dark color, I need to change the font color as well, which is set to hash 333. That's very darkish, a dirty gray. I'm gonna change it to a hash FFF, which is white. And notice, guys, that changes are happening now. Okay, what next? First we'll be working with the colors, and then we'll be working with the background images. Okay, so since I'm finished with the 10th rule, I'm gonna ignore the 11th rule completely. I'm gonna jump to the 12th rule. Now guys, the 12th rule from the top is the longest rule in terms of characters. UL menu bar horizontal A dot menu bar item hover blah 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 blah, and goes on and on and on. It's a long rule. Okay, let me drag this window, this panel, and see guys, notice this is by far the longest rule, and this rule will, guys, control the hover state. Okay, so for the background image, I'm gonna change the background color to a hash 090. Okay, and let me keep the color of the font to a hash FFF, and let's check the live view. Okay, this is looking very cool. Let me take a live view or a preview in Firefox. Dreamweaver would want me to save the changes, obviously, and it gives me a message which says this page uses an object of behavior that requires supporting files. The following files have been copied to your local site folder, and you must upload them to your server in order for the object of behavior to function correctly. That's understandable. I'll say okay. And guys, this is the Firefox preview, and isn't it looking beautiful? Wonderful. Very good. Guys, at a later stage I'll change the item 1, item 2, item 3 to something like home, services, about us, contact us, etc, etc. But let's do the important work first. Okay, I'll come back to that. So back to Dreamweaver. Now guys, as I promised you, I'm going to work with the background image now. This is how you actually work with the colors, just with the colors. Let's see how many minutes has this video already run into. It's actually run into 15 minutes already, so might take around 5 to 8 minutes more trying to explain how to work with the background images. Okay, so I'll need to have at least 2 background images that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use Fireworks to Adobe Fireworks. I'm going to launch Adobe Fireworks and I'm going to create 2 background images, guys. Alright, create new Fireworks document. Okay, next what I'm gonna do is let me change the fill color. Let me make the outline none, and then I'm going to select the rectangle tool, draw a small rectangle. Since I already know that the height of the menu bar is 35 pixels, I'll crunch or constrain the height to a 35. Okay, next what I would want to do is I would want to change the solid fill to a gradient. I'm going to choose a gradient, let's say a linear gradient. That'll do. But guys, sorry about that. I need to log off Yahoo Messenger. Just give me a minute, guys. Next what I need to do is I need to crunch this menu bar to just, let's say, 2 pixels wide by 35 pixels in height. Okay, that'll do. Then I will make it fit the canvas. Okay, I'm going to use this image. I'm going to save it as a GIF image, and this small thin strand kind of a structure or a column is going to be used as the background image for the menu bar, guys. I'm going to save it, and I'll save it in the Spry assets folder, and I'll call it VG. File, save as GIF file inside the Spry assets folder. I'll call it VG. That's a save. Next what I'm going to do is, guys, this has a gradient. I'm going to shift the gradient now by clicking on this small symbol. I'm going to drag the gradient slightly up, and this will be the hover or the overstate. Okay, I'm going to save this to save as and BG hover state. I want to say save again. So guys, if I go inside my test site, the root folder, and inside the Spry assets folder, you'll notice that I have now 2 images. They are like hair strands now. Okay, the BG and the BG hover state that I'll be using in my project for creating a menu bar. So instead of colors, I'll be using the background images. Cool. Let me return back to Dreamweaver, and let's start constructing using a background image. Guys, this 10th rule from the top, which is UL menu bar horizontal, is the key rule. I'm going to click on that, double click on that, and make sure that I remove the background color, set it to none, and instead use the background image, go inside the Spry assets folder and choose the BG GIF. I'll say OK, and since it's just a thin it's very thin structure, like a column, a standing column, I need to make it repeat along the x-axis, so I'll say repeat along the x-axis, and that's it. I'm gonna say apply and say OK, and notice guys, changes have started to happen. Okay, well, almost. Where you see the down arrow and where you see the right arrow, it's still not happened on those menu items, but everywhere else it's showing up nicely. Very cool, not a problem. I can then skip the 11th rule. Let me tackle the 12th rule. Now this is for the hover state. I'm going to double click, I'm going to go to the background section, remove the background color, set it to default or none, and browse for the image, which is the BG hover state, and make sure that I repeat it along the x-axis, and then I'm going to say OK. Okay, so guys, notice for item number 2 and item number 4, the hover state is working very nicely. Even for item number 3.2, 3.3. Okay, where it's not working is the areas where I have this down arrow and the right arrow. Okay, so I need to tackle the rules which actually control the down arrows and the right arrows. Okay guys, there are 4 rules that I need to tackle now, which end with these, item submenu, item submenu, item submenu hover, and item submenu hover. And how do I know that these are the rules that will actually affect the areas that have the down arrow or the right arrow? It's pretty simple, guys. Notice if I click on the rule which is UL menu bar horizontal, A menu bar item submenu, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th rule from the bottom, the 7th rule from the bottom, the 8th rule from the bottom, the 3rd rule from the bottom, the 4th rule from the bottom, the 5th rule from the bottom, and 6th rule from the bottom. These 4 rules, guys, all of them have a background image, either down arrow GIF, as you can see here, Spry menu bar right arrow GIF. The hover state has a menu bar down hover GIF. So basically these arrows are coming from these 4 rules. These 2 are for normal states, these 2 are for hover states. All the 4 of them control the sub menu items. So wherever, guys, I still can't see the effect properly, exactly those areas where I have the down arrow and the right arrow will now be controlled through these 4 CSS rule. Let me get going then. I'll click on this rule, which is the 6th rule from the bottom, double click and go to the background section and choose my own background image, BG GIF. Say OK. I may be pronouncing GIF as GIF, guys. I'm not 100% sure what should be the pronunciation. You take whatever you like. I'm gonna say OK and make it repeat along the x-axis. Get rid of the values 95 and 50. These values 95 and 50 are responsible for tucking that down arrow at that specific place. 95% on the x-axis, and I think that was 50% from top to bottom. But here we are just repeating the background BG GIF along the x-axis, making it repeat. I'm gonna say OK. Notice the change, guys. It's taking shape very well. I'll go to the rule below that, which is the 5th rule from the bottom, UL menu bar horizontal, UL A menu bar item sub menu. Double click, and then I'm gonna say a background browse for my image, and again choose BG, say OK, repeat along the x-axis, get rid of the X and Y positions. I'm gonna say OK, and keep noticing the changes, guys. It's looking pretty good now. Okay, very good. Now I just need to change the hover states, and these are controlled by the fourth rule from the bottom and the third rule from the bottom, namely UL menu bar horizontal, A menu bar item submenu hover. Double click on that, go to the background section, browse for my hover state image, BG hover state GIF, say OK, repeat it along the x-axis, get rid of the 95% position, 50% position. Those were for the right and the down arrows, guys. I'm gonna say OK. Right, we are almost done. We just need to tackle the one in the last rule now. That is the third rule from the bottom. Double click and go to the background category. Again, the background image, guys, is a right hover arrow. I'm gonna browse for my own image, a BG hover state. I'm gonna say OK, say repeat along the x-axis, get rid of X and Y position. I'm gonna say OK. I should be done. Wish me luck. Okay, very good. So guys, this is actually how you control the various rules, the CSS rules, and come up with a horizontal menu bar the way you like, using either a background image the way I did, or just colors. Okay, I also control the width of the menu bar, so also I created two background images with the help of Adobe Fireworks CS5 and use them in this example. Guys, just before I finish this video, I would like to tell you that if these rules sound too confusing, if you really don't understand which rule does what, controls which area, what's it responsible, all you need to do is you need to go inside the Spry menu bar horizontal.css file. You need to just click and open it up, and then guys, please go through these comments. These comments have been left for you. For example, let's say it says, menu bar, there's a comment that's been left here. It says that menu bar items that have a submenu have the class designation menu bar item submenu are set to use the background image positioned on the far left 95%, so on and so forth. So basically, whatever you see in gray is actually telling you which rule does exactly what. Okay, and there's one more change, guys, that I would like to make on this menu bar. Notice, guys, that item number 3.1.1 is in fact overlapping item number 3.1 just that wee bit, and I'll tell you where it is coming from. It's coming from this rule. Okay, if I go inside the rule and check the margins, this -5% and 95% are the two values which are responsible for the submenu overlapping other menu items. Let me show you how. Now item number 3.1.1 is slightly overlapping item number 4, also is overlapping item number 3.1. So if I need to actually make changes to that, what I'll do is I'll go back to this rule and the box category, I will set this -5 to a +10. That will actually have the effect of rather I'll make it 12. That will have the effect of not overlapping the button above, but that will take the submenu item slightly below. That will push it down. And when I keep the left to not leave it to a 95, I can actually set it to 100. That will not allow the submenu item to overlap the item on the left. Let me just show you what I mean. I'll say okay. Now item number 3.1.1 has actually been pushed down. Earlier it was overlapping item number 4, so also it was set to 95. I've made it 100, which means now that item number 3.1.1 is no more overlapping item number 3.1, and also is being pushed a little bit down. So guys, this is also how I can actually control the position of the drop down menus that open up into more buttons or more items. This is how I can actually control them. And yes, just before I actually finish this video, yet another thing that I needed to point out was that if let me come off the live view and then click on this Spry menu bar blue color tab, I can click here and then I can add more items. If I say a plus plus, okay, you notice guys that I've added 2 more items. I'm going to say minus minus again to delete 2 more items. Moreover, I can come here, I can give them names, something like a home here, okay, and something like services, okay, here, okay. I can have as many submenu items here. I can change the order through these arrows, move the item up and down, and also I can have these submenu items have submenu items, okay, just by pressing this add menu item button here in the third window, this window, okay. So guys, there's so much more that I can do. I can make every menu item become a link, okay. I can give it a title, I can give it a target something like underscore self. That will have the effect of opening the link in the same window, or something like underscore blank, okay. So that will make the link open up in a fresh new window, okay guys. So I can use the properties inspector and these 3 windows to have submenu items, submenu items. I can also make them links, okay. I can change the link names from the text field here. So guys, that's all about horizontal menu bars. I hope I've actually cleared almost all your doubts. Still, if you feel that I've missed out on something, or still if you feel you have some doubts, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll try to help you out. So guys, see you next time with yet another Dreamweaver or Flash tutorial. You take very good care of yourself, keep rocking, and please do comment, subscribe. That's like a shot in the arm for us. Bye bye.